The life we want is on the other end of the actions we need to take, but we keep smoking weed instead. Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Gabriel Santos here. And if you're watching this, you want to smoke less weed and be more productive. Real simple as it gets, so simple it might annoy you. You have two choices. You can take action, or you can smoke weed. This is kind of the decision tree that's collapsing. Just to go a little deeper, right? A part of this whole thing is dopamine, as you probably already know. So if you're watching this video, and I was the same way, right? And this is something I still consistently need to be on top of, is the life we want is on the other end of the actions we need to take, but we keep smoking weed instead. And the cool thing is that the brain is trained to do what? For those that don't know, right? It's trained to seek dopamine and continue that cycle, right? Think of science experiments with rats, right? Where you like read these or hear these experiments where the rat when they put unlimited treats in the rat's cage, it just ate it all, right? And it's like, yeah, that's exactly kind of what we're doing when we allow ourselves to just have treats, like unchecked treats, right? And yes, there's a version of using weed that is very holistic and beautiful and great for mental health and well-being. And then there's also the part of smoking weed that, like, it's just, we use it to check out, we use it to numb, we use it to just to avoid discomfort. Um, and we use other things like that, right? We can use video games like that. We use whatever, right? Many things, right? It can be great for us if we use it that way, or they can be a hindrance, okay? So, going back to the topic at hand, right? You have the actions you need to take. You have smoke weed instead. And simply put, this must be the priority. I hope you guys can see that. Taking action must be the priority. That doesn't mean weed has to go away forever. It just means that taking action has to be the priority. And the cool part is, by taking action, you will get dopamine. Luckily, the brain will associate taking action with dopamine. And if we give ourselves the chance to let our brain make that association again, because you'd be surprised how quickly, like, your brain wants to take action. It wants to follow through. It wants to grow. It's wired to facilitate that process. But things like smoking weed in copious amounts, in large amounts, in unchecked amounts, it really messes with the brain's natural dopamine process. That's why when we smoke, that's why a very common thing, like, not just in, like, in general, right? How are people who smoke weed depicted in shows and movies is they're like super lazy and super chilled out, right? And a part of that is your brain is like, oh, we don't need to do anything, yo. Like, we just get all this pleasure for doing nothing. Great, right? Where part of the brain's dopamine process is, it wants dopamine, it wants more rewards, and usually, right, in the real world, you get rewards by, like, hard work. You get rewards by being clever. You get rewards by working on yourself, right? That's kind of vague, right? It's like by being in shape, by being of value, by contributing, by showing up, by making something that people need, by helping people solving problems, right? And so your brain wants to do all that, but unchecked weed smoking gets in the way of that. I'm gonna write a word up here that might just trigger y'all, right? It's accountability. I don't want this word to fall on deaf ears. Because we all know accountability is good. We all know, yes, accountability, discipline, right? Discipline. We know, Gabe. Thanks. I'm going to write this down and put it in my phone. Be held accountable and disciplined. No, really, really let this land, right? Accountability, discipline. Why? / purpose. Okay. You don't want this for no freaking reason. Okay. You might want to just make changes because you're tired of just like smoking and doing nothing. But I can only assume that beyond that, beyond just wanting to be better, there is a version of yourself and your life in certain areas that you really just want to have, right? Whether it's, I just want my clothes to fit better. I just want to be able to carry groceries and not get tired. Maybe I just want to feel like just more mental clarity and feel like good about myself, how I conduct my life, and you know what I do with my time. Or maybe it's just the satisfaction of like accomplishing goals. Maybe a part of you just wants to freaking take on a challenge, right? Maybe you can already sense how, okay, like we've arrived at this point. You've arrived at this point where you're willing to take on accountability and discipline for certain actions. I'm not going to cookie cutter it with you guys, right? Because a lot of this is rebuilding trust with ourselves. It really is. Rebuilding self-trust. And also just like realizing that it's all good. You have the ability. And it may feel scary, but you can do it. You can do it. You really can. If you just commit to that choice for a couple days in a row. And the truth is, I know you can do way more than that. And you know you can do way more than that. And so I'll just leave it at that. Right? Whatever you want to do with this information, you're going to do, right? But I know that you can do it, and just give yourself a chance, right? If you're watching this video at this stage, first of all, I just thank you for your viewership. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching or consulting to get even more support for you specifically, and I can help you deep dive and help you untangle this type of stuff and more, DM me at Gabe_Santos on Instagram. Links will be in the description. DM me the words I'm ready, and we'll go from there. All right. Hopefully this video served you well. My goal was to make a video under 8 minutes. We'll see if I can chop this down to that. But in any case, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I look forward to the next one. See you. Peace.